Ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, we are finally, after 2 days, back on the green side of things. As you guys know, Friday, a solid day in the markets. We did not capitalize. Or was that Monday? I don't know. Monday, I think both of those days. Both of those days were good days. We did not capitalize. Today, we stuck it out. We were patient and we got a nice move in AISP despite all the thinkorswim lag and issues. And I was trying to keep that positive attitude. We had a lot of people who could not get logged in, but we stayed focused. We got in the game, and we were able to capitalize on this extension here around 10:30. Sometimes the profits will come a little later, and that's fine. And today we did bring our swag. We were trading with some big boy size. We were disciplined. We kept it tight. We did a good job. And so we'll talk about it here in a second. Before we do, of course, remember our disclaimer, which is that day trading is risky business. Guys, I say this every day and I'll continue to say it. If you're starting out, you got to go slow. There's no field, there's no industry, there's no business, there's no career that you can just go into and just immediately be the best, immediately be experienced. It takes time to gain the experience, it takes time to become competent. Likewise with the stock market. There's no reason why anybody should be now starting out, even if you've been around and you're not where you need to be. With consistency, doesn't make sense to put out a ton of risk, aka doesn't make sense to use a lot of share size. Take it slow, even if you got to use 5 shares, 10 shares, even if you got to utilize the simulators every day until you grasp the strategy or a strategy, right? Whether it's this strategy or something else out there. That's the key, to go slow. And then, so keep that in mind. Remember that the live streams and recaps are never a reason to try and copy trade. And lastly, I do not invest for my subscribers. What that means is I will never message you first randomly for no reason and start a conversation. There's a lot of fake accounts out there, so be careful. And with that being said, now we can jump into it and we can talk about ticker symbol AISP. GameStop and other news did move, but AISP was really the one that I traded and was able to lock in on. So as mentioned, we didn't see any opportunities here early because we could not log in. So I have no idea how the price action was. In fact, I was asking Tim to upload early today, right? I mean, he always uploads early, but I was just putting out the reminder there because I want to go back and see how this thing did, right? So I'm gonna go back as if I am a student, and I'm gonna watch Tim's archive today just to see, how this thing was moving and where, the opportunities were. That way, if we see something similar tomorrow, I'm ready to go. So, in terms of where I traded this thing and what I was able to do, it all started around about 10:30, 10:35 after we curled up from the lows around 4:05. We pushed up to 4:30 slowly. And when I tell you guys my mental capital was running low, the 5-minute chart was looking decent. And so I was being very persistent in this area here to get long throughout the move, even at times buying the lows, looking for the extension. And, I tried and tried and tried. I'm like, I want to see a separation here so that we can get more of a pullback. I wanted to see a move up so that I can buy the dip and get the rip. And we had this move from about 30 up to 40, and then what was the higher? 43. I wonder if I'm mixing up this area with somewhere else because this thing was definitely looking good. Yeah, so we finally separated, and after the dip at 29, we had this huge extension to 83. Let me double check. 1046. 1046. I might be confusing this area with somewhere else. 20, yeah. Okay, so I'm not wrong. In here, I missed an opportunity because the stock, the way how the stock was moving initially, so okay, it's coming back to me. I wanted to see an extension, and I wanted to see a more of an immediate dip because I'm looking at this area. I'm like, man, I don't remember this thing only going to 440, and that's right. We got all the way up to 470, right on this candle here. But I wanted to see a break of 50, maybe 55, 60, and then a pullback, and then more of a move. This is what I wanted to see because throughout this area we had so much grind that, if you're not positioned properly, for example, if you missed the dip on this type of pullback, it's hard to be in and holding longer. If you're not holding through this entire consolidation at the low, it's hard to be in and holding longer. And I missed this area, or let's say I tried, but we didn't get the resolve right away, and I think I ended up missing this dip, or I might have caught a small move in there but sold early. So I wanted to see another dip to get back in, and we did not get that. And as a result, I ended up missing most of this candle. We had a huge bid at I believe 70, yeah, 70 or so. But the way how this played out, we went from about 45 to 60. It held 57, 58, ripped up to 70. A huge 55,000 share buyer comes in at 70. From there, it pushes up to 83 into the halt level before a false halt. So even after this move right here, I was still not green. Very disappointing. What's crazy though is that if I wasn't being passive, because I think, based off of how the stock was moving, I wasn't as aggressive as I needed to be because I wasn't in low already. If I was more aggressive, I could have bought 45. I could have bought 58, and I could have bought 70, which would have probably resulted into about $1,000 worth of gains, if I just had to guess. Because, it would have been about 30 cents, 2,500 shares plus, maybe more shares than that, right? But yeah, so that happens, but then we finally get this pullback, and this is where I start to lock in some more. Start to lock in, and we get a nice move here. We get a couple $100, right? We pulled back to a low of 60, curled up nicely to 94. Right here, we did see some winning trades around 1049. So I wasn't going crazy. Finally, everything is making sense here. So let's see. We caught a few trades in here. A few trades around 48, 49. So a couple cents here, in at 68 out of 72, in at 60, 63 out of 65, 65, 67, 69, 73. Scratch here for 1 cent loss, another scratch, and then in at 76, well, 77 out at 81. And this is where we saw some better trades, in at 83, out at 90. And we got a little too aggressive up here. We got in at 90, out at 92, but that's where I needed to stop. I knew this trade right here, I was taking a chance. It was a poor trade. If I was to get long here, because we had resistance at 94, it lingered long enough to where I felt maybe we're going to go right through, but I needed to wait for 95, 96 if I'm going to take this trade. So the moment I got in, I knew it was risky, and I paid the price, stopping out at 88. Just wasn't great. We got back in at 74, out at 81. So we caught some decent trades. I think it's going to come down again at some point. And we sold too soon right here. We're going to be back in 75. We're going to try for 75. Let's see. We took some losses here, actually. 74. This is after it moved up to 90 and then dipped. So it looks like we're out at 73 for a 1 cent loss, or 2 cent loss. In at 76, out at 72 for a 2-3 cent loss. Not great. And so we ended up missing the dip, being in too high, and not. So right here where I'm selling is where I needed to really be in and holding a little longer. So fumbling a few trades there around the dip area. Fumbling a few trades. But this thing finally erupted if we come ahead to about 11.13. So if we come up, we did catch some trades here as well, but if we come all the way up to 11.13, right here, when this thing finally decided it was ready to go, we were watching. And I got a bad fill coming out here. I thought I would have had a better fill, I'm in at 99, out at 03. I thought I sold higher, but I took the dip back because we went to like 10 initially. I'm back in, and this was a sweet trade. In at 3, out at 16, in at 24, out at 33, and a few more dip trades up in here. But it ended up coming down. It came all the way down to 87 before any sort of bounce, and then from there is where it collapsed. This is where I stopped trading. Once we're in a area like this, right? Previous high, we're somewhat holding up against the previous highs. Let's just put this trend line here. If if we can't maintain these type of levels, this is where I decide, okay, that's enough. Now, once we break down, if it does come back up into this area, it's where I could start to watch in case we're going to be irrationally strong and this thing just continues to a new high right here, right, and keeps going. But that was not the case. But, you know, trading the uptrend, we missed the first move. We still stayed focused. Again, a lot of this area here was just lack of aggression. And, you know, a lot of it was just me not knowing how the stock could move if it does move well. Or let's say if it, am I saying that right? Yeah. You know, I didn't have any experience with the price action because I missed so much of the open. So once this green candle happened and we held up, you know, from there is where we were able to, you know, watch, get some small gains, avoid the bigger drops for the most part, and then right here we capitalized on the way up, and from there it was backside in the depths. So a nice sweet gain. So guys, remember, you know, even if there's technical difficulties, even if we're having issues, stay locked in, stay focused, and keep paying attention. All right. I think that's the biggest lesson from today, is to stay focused no matter what the issues are. Could be a power outage, could be internet, could be broker issues, logging in, whatever else there may be. Let's keep a positive attitude. Let's stay sharp. Let's keep looking for the opportunities. All right. So with that being said, remember that on Friday we're going to be spinning the wheel. We're going to be spinning the wheel. And boy, is this wheel crazy. We have a massive wheel we're going to be spinning here coming on Friday. All right, guys, so stay tuned. It's going to be crazy. We're going to determine who the winner is for the Miami trip. All right, this is all in honor, of course, of the next day trading team house meetup. For those of you guys who are students, right, if you are a diamond member, remember that your name will be entered 5 times. Okay, we'll be spinning the wheel. So check out the classes if you are interested. You know, the curriculum is here. You guys can see how the chapters are laid out. It's progressive. It's easy to digest. We don't guarantee success, but we do think that with our program, you'll stand a great chance of potentially becoming profitable. Right? We are seeing some profitable students, and the success stories are coming soon. The interviews are coming soon. All right. Besides the curriculum, you guys can take a look at the other perks that are included, such as one-on-one mentorships, our live trading archives, free chat room access throughout your subscription, low latency streams in the chat room as well throughout your subscription, and access to triads and Tim's live archives if you are a diamond member. All right, keep those things in mind. Weekly Q&As and sweepstakes as well, which we can probably add to this list, like the one we're doing now, where one student is going to get the chance to come fly out and meet us. And we're going to be doing this every few months. So, you know, I know there's a lot of you guys, even if you don't win, you're going to get a chance again in the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, because as long as we're here, we're going to just keep doing these anytime we decide to meet up with each other in person, right? And the hope is, you know, if we can keep growing, maybe in the future we're going to have 5 students at a time. I mean, who knows how crazy it can get, right? Maybe we do a meetup where it's just Marcelo, myself, and 10 students, right? I mean, these things are what we're looking forward to doing. So hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out the classes, check out the course website, check out those links down below. It's been Relentless Trader. It's been a good one. And I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe, stay green. I am, of course, signing out.